There's a lot of lies by omission in Tucker's commentary on his time in Russia. And we have another clip here, I think, ready to go, in which he talks about life in Russia. He's at the grocery store. I think that's the next clip. Yeah.
I went from amused to legitimately angry. So we were guessing what this would cost. Everybody hears from the United States buys groceries, and we didn't pay any attention to costs as we were just putting in the cart what we would actually eat over a week. And we all came in around $400, about $400. It was $104 US here. And that's when you start to realize that ideology maybe doesn't matter as much as you thought, corruption. If you take people's standard of living and you tank it through filth and crime and inflation, and they literally can't buy the groceries they want, at that point, maybe it matters less what you say or whether you're a good person or a bad person. You're wrecking people's lives in their country, and that's what our leaders have done to us. And coming to a Russian grocery store, the heart of evil, and seeing what things cost and how people live, it will radicalize you against our leaders. That's how I feel anyway, radicalized. We're not making any of this up, by the way.
So he's accusing the American media of lying by omission. What is this other than a lie by omission? Tucker's a middle-aged adult American man who travels the world. He knows that the prices of things vary by location. He's aware that there's a concept cost of living. What percentage of the average Russian's income goes to food versus the average American's income goes to food? I mean, this is, I'm not breaking any like ground here. This has been talked about over and over that, yeah, it's Russians spend $100 American on groceries. That's like they're spending about a third of their income on food. Americans spend 10 to 15% of their income. It doesn't translate. And Tucker's completely capable of knowing that, probably does know it. That's why I'm characterizing this as a lie by omission. So the fact that groceries are cheaper in Russia doesn't tell you anything about life in Russia. If you travel the world and you'll find groceries are cheaper in all kinds of places, and the standards of living are lower in those places too, and the incomes of the people in those places. All of those numbers you have to take not as absolutes, but as relative, like how many dollars is this versus how many dollars you earn. And he's going there, saying these kind of things. It's propping up the Russian state, trying to tear down the United States, and misleading his audience about something important. What is life like under an authoritarian dictatorship? So he's lying by omission in a way that can get people killed, or does get people killed. So this whole trip he's doing, the best light I could paint on it is that he's using it to take shots at his political opponents. But I think that's too generous. I think he is angry at the state of America, and he's using it to take the United States down a peg or two by whitewashing Russia.